Good morning, wonderful hearts, and good afternoon or good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to Live with Sonya. Today is a very special day because it's like I'm facing the god of the media. He's a Thor. He's Thor. So then I want to know how is the feeling to face a god of media. Then he's a very special. He is the owner and the founder of Livestream Universe. So welcome, Ross Brand.
Thanks for having me, Sonia. And that introduction, it's a little too much. I'm just somebody trying to live stream and teach people some things and help some businesses and things like that. But I'm glad you enjoy what I do on live video.
Do you think so? Because I have watched you everywhere in every media platform, for the businessmen, for the entrepreneurs, even for the people who like to build their business online. So, and I see that you have a lot of people also to choose the right platform for it, right? But then I need to ask you questions, that I'm very curious about
Sure.
maybe you and your business and of course your live stream. Maybe it is not questioning or asking question, but interrogating for sure.
Why don't we call it a conversation? How about that?
Yes, this is the interview, but then okay, so this is not live with Sonia for today, but the interview with the God. How is that? Okay, Ross, why are you interested in the online media, especially the live stream?
Well, my background is in journalism and in broadcasting. I worked in radio for 12 years, and then I got into some other things, including human resources, and didn't
Mm-hmm.
think didn't think I would really ever do any type of broadcasting again. And that's
Mm-hmm.
when I found Blab, which was a platform that went away a few years ago, but
Mm-hmm.
it was up to four people in different windows with their own cameras, and it was really like talk shows and conversation.
Mm-hmm.
It brought me back to what I really loved about radio when I got into it and first started doing it. And
Mm-hmm.
so that kind of pulled me back in, and I realized I was already doing a lot of social media by then, and realized that coming from a media background, it was just kind of a natural fit to start doing social media. Just came very naturally. And so then live streaming came even easier and more naturally to me um, than social media. That isn't to say that there was a lot
Mm-hmm.
that I had to learn, right? And
Mm-hmm.
a lot that we have to constantly learn because the platforms change, the rules change, the algorithms
Mm-hmm.
change, the technology
Yes, that's
changes.
true.
One third party platforms here today, it's gone tomorrow, or how it works changes. So it's constantly learning. But the basic skills of broadcasting and the basic
Mm-hmm.
skills of media, social media, and interacting with people and so forth, those
Mm-hmm.
those things kind of stay constant no matter what platform you're on or what technology you're using.
Yeah, I think because the technology grows very fast in the international world, of course. While in here, we are still struggling with the internet speed and, the difficulties to be online like this. But you inspire me. But then you said that you started from the radio. You know that the last year, some radios refused me or rejected me to have a program or to host a program on their radios, and then look at me now, I'm interviewing you.
But you've done some radio, right? Because I've seen you've put photos up.
Yeah, yeah, as the guest but not as a host, right? But then it teaches me lessons that I should be on the bigger missions that I
Mhm.
already explained on my article some days ago. Like, yeah, because of the rejection, it put the bigger missions. Then now I'm here with you. Then I really thank you to be here on live with Sonia. It is really a big I don't know. It's like 2019 present for me.
Well, it's fun to be on with you. It really is, and it's always exciting starting a new show. And I remember when I was starting out
Hmm.
live streaming, and the first couple of guests said yes, and you start getting all excited,
Oh
and you
yeah, yes,
put a schedule together. So I know what that's like, and you've been
yes,
doing it now for what, a month or 2 months. So
yes.
it's good to see your show coming along, and you staying
Thank you.
consistent each week. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It is very what is it? Surprising for me also that it runs well. That the people, even though they are very famous like you, they are big coaches. Also, they are experts in their fields. They when they said yes, it is like like dreams come true.
And you're not doing it in your first language, right? So I mean,
Yes,
doing it in
that's
English
true.
is a challenge too. So all these things take time, and the more you do it, the more comfortable people
Mm-hmm.
get with it, and eventually, broadcast after broadcast after broadcast, and you start noticing it gets easier, and you're more comfortable, and
Mm-hmm.
things that you might have done earlier, you change, and so forth. It's just it's kind of like a repetition thing, and it's
Mm-hmm.
like anything else. If you stop doing it for a while, you come back, you might improve in some areas, but you still got to
Mm-hmm.
get back into doing it regularly.
Yeah, thank you for the tips, and I think that is also important for everyone who would like to go live or to go on live streaming, right? Because for me, also it is easier to speak on the stage than in front of the camera interviewing a star like you.
So you'd rather speak on a stage than on.
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
okay. See, I'm much
that's true.
more comfortable sitting here with a microphone and, doing, to me, it's almost like radio, except I got to remember to look at
Yes.
the camera every once in a while. But speaking on stage is great too.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking at events, I really enjoy that.
It is a piece of cake for you. But then it is, because of the growing technology, because of the development of the technology, do you keep up with it? Because you provide a lot of information about the advantages or disadvantages or for one platform, for the live stream also, right? Or the other ones too.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
I don't know if
it's
some
trial and error.
companies would like it, because you are very honest to say the weaknesses, of their technologies, right? So a kind of a technology nerd also.
Well, here's the thing though. When you're honest about it, when you say good
Mm-mm,
things about a company,
mm-mm,
they
mm-mm,
believe you. And there
mm-hmm,
are companies that, I have almost nothing but good things to say about
mm-mm,
their products, and those are the ones
mm-mm,
that I end up collaborating with.
mm-hmm,
But it's constant trial and error. It's trying the different
mm-mm,
um, platforms, trying the different software, trying the different
mm-hmm,
tools, and seeing how they work and what you think would be good for
mm-hmm,
people that I work with, and when they ask for recommendations and I listen to
mm-hmm,
what they're trying to do, I want to be able
mm-hmm,
to have the best tools for them. But the tools are just a
mm-hmm,
small part of it, right? Because we all
mm-hmm,
have the phone, and
mm-hmm,
this in and of itself, most people could do a live stream on. Then
mm-hmm,
we have tablets and computers, and then there's
mm-hmm,
software to add. So there's all these different layers you can add, but the essence of it is the person, their personality, their knowledge, how they
mm-hmm,
communicate, how they relate to people, how they have
mm-hmm,
conversations, and all that you can find out by watching somebody on a phone or
mm-hmm,
going through a webcam. Uh,
mm-hmm,
and then you can start to put the right equipment around them to maybe make them
mm-hmm,
sound a little better or look a little better or what have you. But all the best equipment in the world, if a person isn't
mm-hmm,
good on a mobile phone with nothing, they're
mm-hmm.
not going to be good if you put them into a $20,000 studio.
That's true. That's true. Just like what I do today, facing the God. And then if someone comes to you to ask you for the advice or would like to be your client, then how do you choose the best platform for them for their business? I mean,
Oh, I mean, part of it's looking at what their
yeah.
skill level is coming into
Mm-mm.
it. So if they've never live streamed before, and
Mm-hmm.
it's also looking at what they want to do. So if
Mm-hmm.
they want to do something like behind the scenes access kind of thing,
Mm-hmm.
the phone is great. The phone is great
Mm-hmm.
for that. Instagram Live,
Mm-hmm.
Facebook Live, Periscope are all great platforms for that. If they
Mm-hmm.
don't have a lot of experience, but they want to host a talk show, or if they have some experience, but they don't have a lot of time for a lot of complexity, they need it to be able to come together fast. I love
Mm-hmm.
StreamYard as a platform for hosting shows. That's what, in fact, I use for almost all my interviews and talk shows. And that's something you can learn very quickly. It makes it very easy to bring guests on. You
Mm-hmm.
put people side by side, like we have here. You can switch
Mm-hmm.
shots. You can add graphics and all sorts of things. You can add those professional elements to the broadcast,
Mm-hmm.
but without it being super complicated. Now, if somebody wants
Mm-hmm.
to really go to the next level and they either have a
Mm-hmm.
team or they are willing to learn it or
Mm-hmm.
they already understand broadcasting, then it's something like Wirecast, I think, is a phenomenal tool because
Mm-hmm.
that will let you brand and design your broadcast
Oh,
and use all sorts of elements that your broadcast won't look like anybody else's. You can completely customize it the way you want, and it's very high quality in terms of the different elements you can add.
that's true. And then there are so many people who are on their laptop lifestyle with a streamline also, right?
Right,
But
right.
then what I mean is I need you to tell all of these companies there
Yes.
from a developing country from yeah, please, because sooner or later the laptop lifestyle will change into the mobile lifestyle. So please
Right.
tell them to what is it, to develop their programs or their software into the mobile. I need it.
Right, right. Well, I think, a company like StreamYard is working on it.
Mm-mm, mm-mm,
There's a company, Switcher Studio, uh,
yeah.
which has a subscription. You have to
Mm-hmm.
pay for it. But that they have a way that you can bring in guests from
Mm-mm,
almost anywhere through their chat, and you can
mm-mm,
like do a bunch of different shot changes and add,
mm-hmm,
text and all that stuff. Um,
mm-hmm,
so it's coming, and of course, like Instagram natively, you can, you do vertical video when you go live
mm-mm,
on Instagram, and you can bring in a
mm-mm,
guest and do an interview. um,
mm-mm,
One person's on the top, one person's on the bottom,
mm-mm, mm-mm,
if you're used to the side by side thing. I would think sooner or later some of these
mm-hmm,
platforms will develop to where, right through the platform you can bring on a guest.
mm-mm.
You can do it on mobile with Facebook, but the guest comes up like a little post-it.
Very little.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's come on, Facebook already. I mean, get to the point where, you can have you can hold it like this and have a side by side conversation.
That's true. What I mean, for the big man for the Caucasian, it's okay. But for me, like the small Asian, that will be more and more tiny on the camera on
Yeah,
Facebook
right.
Live, right? So it seems that you are very patient, and even though you are already big and live stream becomes a very big company, but it seems that you still handle also the people or who would like to have what is it, the business, the online business for the first time. So it seems that you don't accept only the big companies or the big businessmen only, right?
That's right. And
Because
everybody has different place in what they're trying to do. So
mm-mm,
big companies are trying to reach big audiences. They've
mm-mm,
got big Facebook pages, and
mm-mm,
they want a way to be able to better communicate with, their
mm-mm,
audience in a way that seems more personal. And obviously they can't write to everybody in
That's true.
one-on-one, right? I mean, they can send
Yes.
out a mailing, but that seems kind of impersonal. So if they get on live stream and they're able to have conversations and people can ask
Mm-hmm.
questions in the chat and they acknowledge
Mm-hmm.
people and they answer some of the common questions the customers have, that's a great
Mm-hmm.
way for bigger brands to be able to engage with their fans on social media and make them feel like
Mm-hmm.
they're showing up
Mm-hmm.
for them, they're being present, they feel special about their customers and potential customers. For a small company, it's
Mm-hmm.
sort of different because um, if, for instance, you have a coaching business, right? Every
Yes.
client you get through finding out about you on a live stream
Mm-hmm.
makes a
Mm-hmm.
big impact, can make a big impact on your business, and they can come onto a live stream and
Mm-hmm.
ask you questions, listen to you,
Mm-hmm.
see how you respond to those questions, and decide that they want to work with you, based on getting to know you either through one live stream or more likely over time.
Yeah.
And then you also have the replay of that video where they can come on and watch some videos, and
Yes.
when you compare that to somebody else who's just sending a brochure or sending them to a
Mm-hmm.
website or whatever, um,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times they're going to want to go with the people that they know, and they're going to say, "Wow, Sonia's on TV.
Mm-hmm.
She's on video. I see her videos on YouTube
Yay.
or Facebook, right?" So it's like they almost know you before they show up, and they want to work with that person
I
that they
understand.
feel like they know. So it works on both levels for big brands, and it works for very small businesses as well.
Wow, great ideas. Then
Yeah.
there will be 20 people who will call me after this to book my
Probably.
coaching.
Maybe 100.
So,
You'll have to say no to some. You won't be able
yeah,
to take them all.
we never know, right?
Okay.
Think big and kick ass.
There you go.
So, Ross, what about the people who are now you face from another country like this, not only on the United States? How will you keep up with your clients if you accept someone or accept the clients from another country like us, with the, I mean, even with the speed of the internet is not balanced, how will you keep up with it?
So
To do you do your own research or to try to do the experiment with all of the technology from all of the countries
yeah,
that
I
they
mean,
are
you
good
have
in
to
this country but
experiment.
not good on the other country, something like that.
I mean, just like we talked before we went live, you have to
Mm-mm,
experiment and see what how the technology works, what the person
mm-mm,
has. It's really no different
mm-mm,
an international client and a client in the U.S. because
mm-mm,
if
mm-mm,
somebody's doing a broadcast from a hotel, let's
mm-mm,
say in the U.S.,
mm-mm, mm-mm.
they might not get good Wi-Fi. They might not get good cell connection at it. So
Wow.
everywhere somebody's going to broadcast, they have to be prepared for
Mm-hmm.
what the circumstances are, and the Wi-Fi and the cell connection and all that stuff can be different in different places, based on how strong the connection generally is, but it can also
Yes.
be based on the traffic in that area, how many people are using it at a certain time, what the I mean, there's so many different factors. You can be close to an airport, and then it's the cell power is turned down for everybody. So it's really not that different. You got to go through the same questions about the area,
Mm-hmm.
the equipment, and what would be the
Mm-hmm.
best way to do it. Really, it's kind of universal, how you approach it. Obviously, if somebody doesn't have certain tools or certain speed of internet, then you don't
Mm-hmm.
complicate things as much, right?
Mm-hmm.
You use a setup that will work under most circumstances. I assume for you, using a cellular connection is better than
Mm-hmm.
using Wi-Fi, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, so that's true that you are the god of Livestream Universe. So you are a roster now, and then yeah, because I have watched many teachings and many videos how they teach people online with the complicated equipments. But then when I watch your video, it seems that becoming easy peasy, like very very easy to be live, to go live, on the live stream.
Well, that's good. That's good. What are some of the things that you find have helped you?
Yes, I already watched some of your videos on YouTube, so maybe I'm not stalking. I just want to know more.
No,
And
no,
then
I was
I
just
no,
curious
I,
what people like, and what they react
yeah,
to. So
yeah,
it's the
your
question I asked.
interview about YouTube, about
Mhm.
also Skype, about the LinkedIn also, and how people really use and maximize their live stream for their business.
Yeah, yeah.
Then it really lifts their business up. Like you lift me on my business now.
Excellent, excellent. That's what we want to do.
And then how do you, what is it, manage your energy for this? Because sometimes technology can be very complicated, when you try to find something new feature, or
Yeah, I
uh,
mean, you have to kind of stay up to date on things, but
mm-mm,
it's a matter of like when you have a show, right? You have technology that you've used. In my case, I've
mm-mm,
used almost whatever I'm going to use. I've probably used a bunch of times, so I know
mm-mm,
to set up ahead of time. I know to be ready.
mm-mm,
I kind of know. Um, I mean, I have things here that a lot of people might not have, but I've got extra
mm-mm.
microphones. So if there's a problem connecting this, I can put a USB microphone in and use
Wow.
that, or I could use, I have a backup for my mixer
Mm-mm,
audio interface. I can use that. I could connect
mm-hmm,
my phone. I've got a whole bunch of different things I could do to get the show on if I needed to. So that's a comfort that I know that I have the resources. But as far as like your energy, going live to me can be
mm-mm.
like I love it.
That's why.
I love the conversation. I love the energy
Mm-mm,
and everything else. But I'm also an introvert, and I also like,
mm-mm,
so I like to have my time where I'm not on camera
mm-mm.
and in the public,
That's true.
whatever. So, um, I put it all in there. I love doing it, and then I have time where I'm working quietly at my desk, and I'm not one of the IRL live streamers in real life live streamers who they've got the camera on them 24/7, and everything they're doing is talking to the
That's true.
or recording a story constantly, or what have you. I
Yeah, no private life because you are always on camera like the artist.
Yeah, right.
So what I mean is like then that way that kind of life, because you have to keep up with the technology and you need to face many kind of people, and then how do you spend your own time? What is it when there is no camera around you?
Well, I mean, a lot of the work takes place when there's no camera on me, right? So there's a lot of that takes place, and
Yes,
um, and then I do other things like visit family, go
yes,
play tennis. I enjoy being outside, going out to eat, doing all the normal things, and I don't always share all that on Instagram or whatever. I want to
yes,
things that help people with what I enjoy talking about when I'm live, which is different types of online broadcasting, live streaming, podcasting, video
yes.
creation, audio creation for smart speakers, and how to
Mm-hmm,
do all that in a social context, right? Because what we're doing is we're taking
mm-hmm.
some aspects of traditional broadcasting, but we're putting it on social media. And that brings a different approach because you have this live chat, which TV doesn't have and radio doesn't have.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
And so I very much believe that you need to create content that takes
Mm-hmm.
advantage of the strengths of live streaming, which is the live chat, the interaction, which is
That's
why I
true.
think interviews are such great content because they start the conversation that brings people into it. But going live by yourself and doing an Ask Me Anything or putting some questions out there,
Yes.
teaching something, taking questions from the chat, you could easily do a several hours live stream just doing doing question and answer with people in the
Wow.
or bringing people on, like using platform like StreamYard, sometimes I just put a link in the chat and say anybody who wants to come on in.
Yes, and then do the company also call you for their live stream? What is it? Software and updates, so that you can give the review for them. This live stream companies, I mean,
They call me for which now?
to ask you to give the review for them.
To review. They'd like
Yeah,
me to
yeah,
review
yeah,
their software or
yeah,
try their
yeah.
product.
That's
There
true.
are
That's true.
companies that do that, yeah, and I enjoy it. I mean, I enjoy getting the beta copy and taking a look at it and learning about the different features. Or sometimes the
Yes,
product's been
yes.
out for a while, mainly I just share my experience with it, why I use
Mm-hmm.
it, why I like using it, how
Mm-hmm.
you would use it. Is it something that I'm going to use in my workflow? Things like that. I'm not necessarily taking the product apart, right? I'm just
Yes.
putting it into context and figuring out who it's for, what where it works within your workflow of all the things that you
Mm-hmm.
put together for your broadcast.
How long does it take to be an expert like you on the live stream
Uh,
work? And now Livestream Universe, not
well,
only the
I've
work.
been doing this for, let's see, 3.5. I started in 2015, in the fall of 2015.
That's not
Obviously,
that long yet.
I brought background from my past in radio and from
Mm-hmm.
understanding some social media and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But the rest of it is, it's just a constant process of trying things and learning and staying up to date on new developments and things like that. And um, obviously understanding where the pieces go and when to use them and how to use them to enhance a broadcast,
Mm-hmm.
that also helps, because it's not just knowing the tool, it's knowing how to use it, when to use it, why to use it,
Yes.
and who should use it.
Yeah, because it seems that the live stream already take over the world, then the people
Hopefully.
will do much more better on the internet than on real life or on
Right.
TV, on radio, because it can reach much more people in the whole world.
Well, people love live because they love the idea that who knows what's going to happen next, that this
Mm-hmm.
is real, and that when you are live on a social media platform and people jump into
Mm-hmm.
that chat, they know it's
Mm-hmm.
really you there and they're really interacting, and there's that sense that either I'm going to be a part of this or I'm going to miss it.
Mm-hmm.
With an uploaded video, with TV, there's sort of a sense of, okay, I can always go watch it later, or I can catch the replay, or and yeah, you can catch the replay of a live stream, but even
Mm-hmm.
so, the fact that it was done live and you still have that excitement of the person dealing with whatever unexpected thing,
Yes, that's
not
true.
scripted, it's not
Anything can
produced.
happen because they are from everywhere.
Right, exactly.
So that way, because now you become very famous, and then do you always, you know, try to put on the content that you want to share with people, or those contents come to you directly because you have been everywhere, and the people contact you to what tell to tell you what they need, then oh, for example, like today, Ross, I need you to review about this, how is it, or something like that, or do you have to provide special contents for your audiences?
So I do some content that's just free for a general audience, and it's
Mm-hmm.
brand building, it's showcasing my ability to host shows and
Mm-mm.
building relationships with the guests. And
Mm-hmm.
um, that's my live stream deals show, which is a monthly
Mm-mm.
show. I have 3 to 4
Mm-hmm.
guests on every month, and then
Mm-hmm.
each of the 3 or 4 interviews often becomes a YouTube video of its own, or it becomes each one becomes a podcast episode
Mm-hmm.
uh, instead, or in addition, or both. Sometimes I make
Mm-hmm.
them into both. So that's one show. Another show's brand on broadcasting. That's a little looser. because I might just jump on anytime when I have a thought about something related to live streaming and want to just talk about it or
Mm-hmm.
share something. I will also schedule shows that are interview shows and have
Mm-hmm.
guests on to talk about their experiences with live streaming. And then I'll do some test broadcasts where I'll just be like, hey,
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying out
That's
this new
progress.
platform or something like that. And
Mm-hmm.
that I won't have a real plan about. I'll just see if people jump in the chat and have questions and
Mm-hmm.
test
Mm-hmm.
it and, stay on for a while.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a mix of things between the planned show with guests and you promote it and you repurpose it and all that. And then there's other times I go live and I may be trying a new platform. I may be just have something I want to talk about, and it's more like
Mm-hmm.
spending time with your community, and people come into the chat and you converse with them. Sometimes like I say, I put the link in the chat.
Yes.
Anybody can come on and share their thoughts on an issue, sort of like calling into a radio show, that kind of thing. um, and then
So
and then there's specific work that I do for
yes.
companies, which may be hosting a show for them. It may be
Mm-hmm.
helping them shape content, what kind of content's going to work for their brand, for their audience.
Wow.
Maybe teaching them how to better host a show if they're doing it
Mm-hmm.
themselves, or how to better set up their workflow. What
Mm-hmm.
would be the best process for them? What platforms to use? Where to share it? How to structure their promotion and follow up and things like that. There's
Mm-hmm.
so many different aspects of live streaming that
That's true.
uh, the good thing is you almost can't run out of work.
Do you want to run away now because it's getting more interesting? That I'm looking forward that you interview me, but then please do not take a revenge that you are going to interrogate me like this.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. This will be nothing. I mean, the questions will be like one after the next. Personal questions and follow
Mm-hmm,
up
mm-hmm.
and antagonistic questions. Just we're doing investigative journalism.
Yeah, that's true. What I mean is like this also, like you teach many people, but then you also go on the live stream. Do you provide the online course also for these people or these companies online so that the other people from the whole world can contact you,
I
not
should
only
I should
for the ones in the United States, I mean.
I should have an online course where people can just sign up
Mm-mm.
and take it. It's already done, or maybe
Yes.
I have some in session
Mm-mm.
where in person sessions where they come on to not really in person, but on live
Mm-mm.
video or whatever. But I haven't put a course together yet. So right now I'm working either with individuals or with companies uh, based on client consulting type of arrangement. But yeah, I should have a course out there so that people wherever they are and whatever their time frame is can do it at their own speed and at their own kind of from their own computer at their own time, without necessarily needing to schedule appointments and set up and all that. I mean,
Ye-
that's something that's on in my plans to do eventually.
Yeah, so because I believe that there will be many people who need you, and we cannot clone Ross yet. I mean, the Ross story, we cannot do the cloning yet. That's why I think you need to do it. Impossible to be on the 24 hours or 365 days,
Right, right,
online. So, well, there are so many people who might want to reach you, to
right.
start their live stream business, or to improve what they have also. So when will you start it?
I don't know. It's something that's on my list of things to do. Um, one day we'll get there.
So it's not the
I'm not
2019
going to
goal.
commit. I'm not going to commit to anything right now.
Yeah, because I believe that you have already so many agendas and schedule this year, right?
It's
Yeah, even it is very difficult to have your your time for this long.
right, right.
And then, what about the progress of the live stream work for the entrepreneurs? Or, okay, let me put this way, because I'm a coach. So how do you think about it for the coach?
I mean, I think it's great. I think somebody that
What
I
can you
really,
do for it?
I think, looking at somebody like, I don't know if you know Coach Jenny, she's
Yes.
phenomenal. Um, Jenny Mustafa Julak. She,
Mm-mm,
I mean, I remember her starting out on Blab,
mm-mm,
and she has used it to build community, to
mm-mm,
showcase how
mm-mm,
she works with clients by actually
mm-mm,
bringing people into the hot seat and talking to them
mm-mm,
about their issues,
mm-mm,
doing private live streams, building groups that she live streams
mm-mm,
into, all different types of ways that she's connected with people and brought them into her
mm-mm.
community, and they want to work with her. She's a terrific example to look to. But I mean, I think it's just
Yeah,
great. I think
I'm going to browse about her. Yes.
coaching coaches are people who video works so well for, because you can show
Mm-hmm,
how you work with people, you can show what you know, you can answer questions from people who
mm-hmm,
might actually book an appointment with you right
mm-hmm.
there on
That's
your
true.
live streams. And then you can also use live streams as testimonials. So if you have a
Mm-hmm,
client, you could actually do an interview
mm-hmm,
with them afterwards and
mm-hmm,
say, what was it about our work together that worked for you, that helped you? How did you started out, what was your issue when you came to me? And they talk
mm-hmm,
about that. Now, how did we address it? What's different? Were you happy with how things turned out? What are you going to do in the future? And so you use that interview instead of like
mm-hmm.
a person reading a scripted testimony. I
Yes.
worked with Sonya and it was great. Thank you. You should work with her.
Yes.
They're on here like, thank you, Sonya, so much. You helped me so much, and you changed
Mm-hmm.
my life, and whatever. And like, yeah, that impacts
Yeah, we
potential
get the
customers.
energy too. That's true.
And
And they are
so the
probably vertical.
testimonial in the form of an interview where, you pick the right customers, those who would be
Mm-hmm,
comfortable doing it and would say good things and would be mature in
mm-hmm,
front of the camera. But your
mm-hmm,
questions can guide them through that journey that they took
mm-hmm,
with you. And so I think for coaches, it's a no brainer to do it. If you have the time and you have,
mm-hmm.
you know, if your schedule's booked from morning till night, maybe
Yeah, that's
streaming
true.
isn't, maybe don't cancel paying clients
Mm-mm.
in order to live stream.
Yes, of
But if you
course.
have time in your day to do it, I think it's a great way for coaches to demonstrate what they do and how they do and what their personality's like, and
Yes.
really draw people into them, and also um, promote the people who've worked with them and gone on to do great things. So it's not just that they're giving you a
Mm-hmm.
testimonial, you're also telling everybody about what they do and what their business is and everything. So it's a chance for them to get more known in the community as well.
That's true. So, what is the best live stream platform in your opinion to do all of these works? In a simple way. I mean, because not all of the coaches are not like you on the technology. So we just want the simple thing, but with the high quality, of course.
I mean, I think StreamYard's a great platform to use if you're you can go to Facebook, you can go to YouTube, or you can use
Mm-hmm.
integration with Restream and go to all the channels. But basically, if somebody's starting out and they don't have a
Mm-hmm.
particular platform where they have a,
Mm-hmm.
a big following, I think starting a Facebook page, maybe starting out going live a few times on your personal profile in order
Yes.
to get comfortable. Maybe don't talk about your business the first few times, but just practice. Uh, and then go live and talk about your business on your Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
And then try the other platforms. See where you think there's a community, where there's potential customers, where there's people who are interested in what you talk about. But I think if
Mm-hmm.
all things are equal, Facebook, even though people will say, yeah, you have to pay, you have to buy ads and all this stuff,
Yes.
still, I think because people who are your friends will like your page, people that are interested in your business, will like your page. I think you can more quickly get an audience on Facebook still than most of the other
Mm,
platforms. So I
that's
would
true.
start with Facebook if all things are equal. If you already have a big following on Periscope
Mm-hmm.
or YouTube or whatever, then obviously
Mm-hmm.
you should think about those platforms because that's where an audience is already opted into watching you do
Yeah,
video.
it will be surprising for the international world. Like, last week that we didn't got the connection to Facebook and Instagram and some of the WhatsApp. So we were very stricted or limited to the access. So
I would say
yeah, this is like
Instagram.
the ad.
I
Yeah,
forgot Instagram, but I would say Instagram is right there with Facebook. I mean, maybe even better for some people than Facebook. The great thing about Instagram is when you go live on Instagram, all your
mm-hmm.
contacts get notified, and it
I
works that
understand.
way too.
You mean the followers on Instagram that will be notified that we go live, right?
Well, the people who have chosen to follow you, who are following
Mm-hmm.
your profile,
Yes.
they all get notified, as far as I know, because I manage several different Instagram accounts.
Yes.
So, and some of those accounts all follow the same people. So when one of
Yes.
those people goes live, I get like 4 notifications on my
Mm-hmm.
different accounts that they went
I
live.
understand.
So it seems like you get notified every time on Instagram. And so that's worth it because you go live in stories, you can post stories as well as going live. I would look at Facebook and Instagram as the starting places. Doesn't mean that they're the best places for everybody, but
Mm-hmm.
I think they give you the best chance in the beginning. Building a following on YouTube is more difficult. Building a following on Periscope, I think, is more difficult. Twitch,
Mm-hmm.
not a gamer right now. It's a
Mm-hmm.
long process to build a following on Twitch. And if you're a coach, I don't know that a lot of your potential clients are hanging out on Twitch
Mm-hmm.
unless you're a coach
Mm-hmm.
who specializes in helping gamers. If you're a
Yeah,
coach
yeah.
of gamers,
I'm
then
not
you might
into
want to hang out
Twitter
on.
yet. I haven't built the status on Twitter yet. So at the end, everyone should choose their own platform that's suitable with them, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Not only from their fields, but which one they feel comfortable with, right?
Yeah, I mean, it should be a combination of where you think your audience is, where
Mm-hmm.
you feel comfortable, and what platform works best for the kind of content you create.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, if you do a lot of in the moment kind of stuff, that works
Mm-hmm.
great on Instagram. If you're doing a
Mm-hmm.
talk show like you're doing, interviewing me, I mean, you can do that on Instagram, but to me, that's
Mm-hmm.
that's better geared for Facebook or YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, then of course I'm going to put this on the YouTube.
Of course, you are.
Then I will be more famous too, right?
I don't know where you keep getting this famous thing from. Of
Not for being famous. I mean to share the values with the
course.
people like you do, because you already share a lot of benefits from the live stream universe to the audiences, to the people who would like to use that platform also. But then from this kind of work you do, because there are so many things, so many programs that you host and also you handle, which one that make you enjoy most, the happiest thing that you get from the program?
Oh, I still love hosting shows and connecting
Mm-hmm.
with people and facilitating that discussion and
Mm-hmm.
helping people talk about what kind of work they're doing, whether it's their business or their product,
Mm-hmm.
or if it's something that I feel comfortable supporting, then I love sharing that with the world. I'm not so much being. I mean, I'm asking questions that the audience
Mm-hmm.
want to know, but when I bring somebody on live stream deals, I've kind of vetted their product already. So I
Mm-hmm.
really want to just help them connect their product with the community of users who would
Wow.
benefit from using it. And so I enjoy giving them a platform in order to talk
Mm-hmm.
about it. and
Mhm.
I also enjoy the fast pace of it because it's three or
Mhm.
four guests, so the show really moves. I mean, it's just like you get one guest in, you talk about their product, maybe there's a special offer, maybe there's a giveaway, and then that segment's over, and you transition right away to the next guest. And I like the whole sort of challenge of doing
Yes.
so.
So it's
Keeps
not
me
only
sharp.
about the
It keeps me
product,
sharp
but
as a
also
host.
about the people who own the products, right?
Yeah, I mean the people who own the products, the people who are the viewers. I just enjoy that whole interaction and the whole pace of it. And yeah, that's why I do it. I mean, I do those shows because I love it. I mean, there's a benefit to my business and whatever, but basically, I mean, if I didn't enjoy it, I would do some other kind of show or something else.
Yeah. And I'm afraid it will be longer because there are so many things I would like to ask you, but then I don't know how much time you have today.
Go ahead, go ahead.
And then yeah, for the live stream universe, how did you get the idea to build this company? I mean, for
Okay, so
you.
Livestream Universe started when I first found
Mm-mm,
the lab, and I was impressed with what people were doing with live streaming.
mm-mm,
I
mm-mm,
actually didn't intend in the beginning that I would start hosting a show. Do you
mm-mm.
believe that? I thought I was going to become like, I would do like sort of the social media examiner of live streaming, that this
Eh,
was going to be like
Oh.
a media company that covered the news about live streaming and was sort of like
Mm-mm,
a combination of a newspaper and a TV guy.
mm-mm,
I was sharing when people were going live and what they were talking about. And but
mm-mm.
after a month, I got the idea that it would be good for promoting the website if I did a show. And once I started hosting a show, then the show came about what I was about, and then so hosting the shows and going live and became my primary focus of Livestream Universe, and then it became
Mhm,
working with businesses and entrepreneurs. So it's part creating content and it's part doing that. And while I stay up to date on
mhm.
what's going on with live streaming, with new products and things like that, through live stream deals, it's not like I'm a journalist day in and day out, staying on top of breaking news or whatever. I mean, I am
Yeah.
from my own knowledge, but not like I'm not trying to have articles and stuff, written live
No, no,
every
that's
day
not
about.
you. I don't think that you would do that again. I mean,
No,
for what is it? Any longer. I mean,
no,
because it takes a lot of your time also. Well, there are much more people who need you to build their business online, right?
right, right.
So
It's also from a business standpoint,
yes,
it's a hard road to try and monetize a blog or something like that.
yes, yes, and yeah, everyone would like to do that also. Maybe they go live, but they don't get the money. So
Right.
this is very important also how to teach people to monetize their live stream, right?
Right. I
To
mean, most people, for very few people, will they make money by getting
mm,
sponsors
mm,
from their live stream. Most people
mm,
should be using their live stream to bring
mm,
people to their business,
mm,
to, to sign up for an appointment, to schedule
mm,
something, to buy something. Ultimately, I mean, in the beginning, you're building relationships and you're establishing yourself, but ultimately, you're using it as a part of your business, not entering the business of live streaming for most people.
oh my god, it's getting more exciting now. Then there are so many things that I would like to know, but yes, our time is very limited too. And then yeah, maybe next time
I
you
could
would
always
like
come
to
back for
come
a part
again
two.
to live with Sonia, yes.
Yeah,
But
I could always come back for a part two.
or part three or because there are so many things that I would like to know, and you need to share with the whole world also.
I
Because
did.
yeah, it seems like still a new thing here. Not so many people
Right,
go live with the value. Sometimes they only show what is it, something that we don't need to see on the internet also.
right.
So it seems like there is no filter for the internet, right? But then it depends on us how we watch the programs also. So that's why a lot of things that I would like to ask you about it also, how to choose the right audience, how to perform to the right audience also with the platform that already exists or provided on the internet also. Because however we are the entrepreneurs, we are business people, right? So
Mhm.
wanted or not, we need to keep that image also.
Yeah, that's very true.
And then, please, so would you like to give messages for our audiences?
Yeah, well, thank you
Because
so much. Thank you so much for having me. This was really a lot of
I
fun.
thank you for being here.
And like I say, yes, there's a lot of technology and there's a lot of
Mm-mm,
platforms and everything, but anybody who has a mobile phone and internet connection, they can live stream for their business or to build their
mm-hmm,
personal brand or just to enjoy connecting with people and sharing some aspect of their
mm-hmm,
life, a hobby, anything else.
mm-mm,
Don't be held back by, okay, I need a studio or I need all this equipment. Develop your content first, and then you can
mm-hmm.
always add equipment that help you deliver that content better at a later time. But if you're good at doing it or you enjoy doing it, you're going to be good at doing it no matter what you use.
You see, it is a very exciting because you
Yeah.
mentioned that it's not important to have a very good studio, while the other trainers would like to encourage you to have a good studio for the good audio and everything, the good video. Wow, it's
Look,
a
it makes a difference, but it makes a little difference. It elevates
mm-hmm,
things at a certain point. Um,
mm-hmm,
I wasn't using this mic when I started out. I was using a USB mic.
mm-hmm,
I wasn't using a mixer or audio interface. I was just plugging the mic into my computer. I had like
mm-hmm.
almost no lighting. I had no picture in the background when I started out.
Yes.
But people were
Oh.
still watching because they liked what I did. I mean, I built Livestream Universe before I upgraded my audio and my video quality, before I got an external webcam, and before I improved my lighting, which still could be improved a lot, right? So,
Mm,
but none of that stopped me from doing what I wanted to do.
that's true.
Ultimately, about the person and how they communicate and how they relate to the audience and what they have to offer, and you can definitely do that with just a cell phone.
No, very genuine. And
Yeah,
then, yeah, it must be very great for you to share with the people who like to know about the live stream and would like to build a business with your live stream.
yeah,
And even I can see you have the your caricature. How do
yeah.
you call it? How do you pronounce it behind you now?
A caricaturist was a guest on the show, Kathy
Yes.
Nolan, and she
Yes.
actually was a caricaturist for the news and for
Oh.
the Never Settle show. And so while I was interviewing her, she was drawing that.
Mm,
And by the end of the
wow.
show, she had that and she gave it to me. And then this
Wow.
is a bobblehead that I got from speaking at Social Media Week.
What's that? What is the bubble hair? I don't know. Oh,
This is my
that's cute.
favorite speaker gift for
Can you
speaking at
send it to
Lima.
me? Because it is too big for you to send you here. So everywhere to your bubble hair.
So since I can't come there myself, I'll just ship bobblehead
Oh,
Ross out there.
yes, yes, true. No, just buy the tickets and come here and teach the people here about the live stream because it seems that we are behind technology nowadays. So I really thank you for coming to live with Sonia and share a lot of, you know, more than values, I think, to our
Right.
audiences.
Well,
And
thanks
I
again,
will
Sonia.
thank
This is
you,
fun.
thank you, thank you. Then I will see you again next time. Yeah, please do not forget to give your contact. I mean, how will the people contact you? Even though you are everywhere, but they don't know how to contact you directly, right? If they need something from.
Livestreamuniverse.com
Mm-hmm,
is my website, and you
mm-hmm,
can follow me on Twitter. The letter I, Ross Brand.
mm-hmm.
And you can DM me on Twitter or email me through the website, or
The
just
website is
yeah, or
easier,
just
I
connect
think.
with just message me on Facebook. I'm
Mm-hmm.
all over the place. Find me on LinkedIn. I connect with everybody on LinkedIn, and then you can send me a message there. Uh,
Not 24 hours though. I don't know if the god needs to sleep. Gods never sleep, right?
no, no, we don't need sleep.
I really thank you for being here today.
Thanks,
And
Sonia.
then yeah, for our audiences, I hope that you get a lot of values for our live stream today also. And then please you can share also what we have here to the other people who might need it, or the people you care, of course. And I'll see you next time. Thank you for being on live with Sonia. I'll see you. Bye bye.